Finally today, find out the unvaccinated workers likely not to receive unemployment benefits across America, how faster broadband and internet could significantly reduce unemployment numbers, and the great news from President Biden and the White House regarding the plunging unemployment rate and positive jobs report and the economy. What's going on after this? I've seen tons of y'all asking questions in the comments, which we see lots of them, thousands of them, but this one in particular comes up quite often. So I thought I'd just dig into it and found the answer to whether or not unvaccinated American workers can still be eligible for the unemployment benefits. Yes, many people were confused. Unvaccinated worker eligible for unemployment benefits? Pretty decent question. Well, employees who are fired for refusing to get inoculated against the vaccine, the virus, not the vaccine. Some people say, that's why we did it, because we're against it. Yes, against the virus will technically leave a position on their own volition, or if they are terminated for cause, because they failed to comply with the company policy. Yep, so a lot of technical jargon for that, right? Again, the position, if you've left it on your own volition, or if they have terminated you for cause, such as because they failed to comply with the company policy. So, it's like, well, you kind of did it to yourself. Jason Hoppenskye, chair of the Nevada-based law firm Hazen Boynes Labor and Employment Practices, explains, quote, generally, if you do something bad, commit misconduct, or violate company policy, really? I didn't put the toilet seat down? Then you are disqualified from receiving unemployment benefits. If you leave on your own or are terminated for a reason, you're not eligible. End quote. That's what he said. He continued. In the case of not complying with the vaccine mandate, that is like failing to comply with any other employer-related policy. Generally, that is a reason an agency would deny unemployment insurance benefits. So if it's company policy and your boss decides to say, yep, it was our company policy, which he probably has to notify you, put it up on a wall or something like that, can't just do it after the fact, which you'll find. A lot of employers are like, they call it covering a booty cover. So yeah, that was our company policy, when it wasn't. The bad thing is a lot of times the unemployment division or labor division will call, and then the other employees will say, yeah, we never saw a policy. And then, the employer's in hot water again. So if you didn't have a policy and you got fired and they're trying to use that as an excuse, encourage the unemployment or the labor department, if you file a labor complaint, and say, look, they didn't have a policy. As always, check with the state to see if the unvaccinated workers can be eligible to collect unemployment benefits. Let me know in the comments down below what you find in your state, and I'd love to know, because this is a community where we communicate with each other. Meanwhile, a recent study from the American Economic Journal, the economic policy, found that the faster internet speeds can reduce unemployment rates across America. Yes, of course. Right? We need good broadband so we have a broad, bright future, right? In today's online society, a good internet connection is a lifeline, right? Probably. Can you imagine COVID without internet? Ooh, that would have been bad. Well, it's a necessity to par as much as water and electricity for millions of Americans using broadband to work, learn, socialize, and just have a good time, or just to satisfy their curiosity. Right? We have more power in our hands right now than President Reagan did back when he was there. We can just type in stuff and get instant access to information. Before, they had to get paper files from the Fed. Now we just type in Fed, and the reports are there. Fortunately, why 86% of households earn more than $70,000 per year a solid broadband connection, this percentage dropped to 56% for those that make less than $40,000. And yet, those are the people that probably need a come up. They need a lift up, a hand up, something. They also found that those that received discounted internet were much more likely to become employed than both those in the same area who were ineligible for the program. I got to tell you, so often people, try and put a Band-Aid over the wound, or they don't actually find out the cause of why somebody got hurt in the first place. Like maybe you're klutz, I don't know. But, maybe fix the source, like internet, education, that sort of thing, so that people can actually get the kind of employment that would make sense. I mean, we should have like engineering, shouldn't even pay for that. Programming should be just, oh, you want to do programming? We got a Harvard course for you. It's completely free. And there's about 1,000 people in there because we need programmers like you wouldn't believe. Study another George Zune explains, quote, the ability of internet essentials led to 0.9% point increase, 1.6%, and the probability that an eligible low-income individual was employed, well, after adjusting the take-up rates, I calculated that the enrollees were 8.1% to 14.3%. That's a huge lift. More likely to be employed. That's a big percentage, especially when you figure millions of people. This proves that cheaper and faster internet connection leads to dropping unemployment rates across America, which is why these vital disaster relief stimulus broadband funds should be available in your cities. And especially with all of this stuff with internet now, it's getting to the points where you got internet's the same price as the payment on a car, right? So finally, the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, I think it's Penske. I always mess up her name. I've seen it in the comments. You guys are like, that's not her name. So I'll make an effort to figure that out. Made some very interesting comments speaking on behalf of President Joe Biden regarding the plunging nationwide unemployment rate yesterday in a press conference right after, Biden had talked about 24 hours, our docks are going to be open, UPS, FedEx, all open. He did it. He'd opened us up. Literally, he's going to fix the supply chain. The interesting thing is, will that influence work? Because he got an agreement with these companies that they will stay open 24/7. And his administration is getting the employment to drop. She explained, quote, we're creating nearly 5 million jobs in 8 months. That's 600,000 new jobs every month, on average, 10 times the rate we're inherited. Growth is up. Wages are up. And our unemployment rate is down below 5%, 18 months faster, and forecasting prediction earlier this year, end quote. What I'd like to see, this is my challenge to the President of the United States. I would like to see, for the first time in history, the unemployment rate to go negative, where we have more people employed than there are people. I'd love to see that. That'd be cool. I think you could do it. You're Joe Biden. You've been there 37 years. Come on, do it. She continued, as unemployment drops, our economy is shifting to a labor market where employers have made bargaining power. They got bargaining power, right? The labor market's like, yo, you want me to work here? Well, ultimately, that's a good thing for workers to have a little bit of bargaining power, a lot of bargaining power. We need people. That's how we roll. And we can't, how do you think we hold up all this stuff? Things don't move themselves. They don't just, So they have more choices, which is just good, end quote. This is fantastic news coming from President Biden's administration, actually coming from him. Maybe he was hitting some balls around, I don't know, in the Oval Office, trying to get good at his golf game. And hopefully the national unemployment rate continues to plummet as we close out the crazy 2021. I mean, with opening up those ports, I guess if those are going to be government employees that are inspecting, can you imagine? They'll be inspecting stuff in the dark to get it through the system to fix the supply chain. You will not run out of toilet paper. I am excited about that too. It's going to be cool because That was a disaster I saw coming, was hyperinflation due to the supply chain not having products. If you still haven't applied for unemployment assistance, get a head start on the weekend. It's Friday. You could really crush it. In most states, well, all states, you can still claim those unemployment benefits at a local level. You have 26 or 27 weeks, typically, that's just been around since the 30s. Give them your employment history and your ID. Fill out an application as generally as possible to the best of your ability. Be honest and truthful. It's rewarding. Fill out that application and you could get a backdated check. The window is open still for you to be able to get thousands of dollars directly deposited into your account so that you literally can pay back your savings that you might have spent or your credit cards. At this time, the PUA, disturbingly, has not been open, the disaster relief window for those unemployed 1099 freelance workers, Uber, Lyft, FedEx, independent drivers. I mean, so many people. This is the 21st century. I don't understand it. AOC seems to, which is amazing. I wish more of our politicians understood what it's like to run a small business and what it's like to have 1099 employees. Well, we'll see. Hopefully they'll open it up to the gig workers, self-employed independent contractors, and freelancers can get their money. Keep sharing your experience with the UI unemployment benefits in your state. Please stay safe out there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I love you. I've worked my off. I will die for my audience.
I don't want to be someone that they feel they can't touch.
People will call you out.
Oh, all day.
Yeah.
They call me out all day.
I can type in the search bar in Google, Raider, and then